exactly from the time that Titus the Roman, under orders from Caesar, invaded Israel, surrounded Israel actually, invaded Israel, destroyed it, entered into the temple and destroyed, first of all set up his emblem in the temple, but then destroyed it, fulfilling Jesus' own prophecy in Matthew 24, I think it's Matthew 24, that not one stone should remain upon another. In Matthew 24, Jesus said to his disciples, when you should see the Israel compassed about with armies, know that the desolation is nigh, and that would be the beginning, he seemed to indicate, of the Great Tribulation. You'll see that Jesus goes on to tell about the Great Tribulation happening after that event. So it looks like to me that Great Tribulation period, the sounding of the trumpets, the 7 trumpets in Revelation, actually started way back then, 2,000 years ago. And it's actually been going on ever since. And now what we are waiting for is the re-invasion of Israel and the taking over the temple, or the Temple Mount again, by another Antichrist figure, this time the full-blown Antichrist, or the last Antichrist for this period of world history. And that's, right after that happens, according to the Bible, the way I understand it, and the Antichrist shall be revealed, and he sits in the temple saying that he is God. Everybody should worship him. That's when the 7th trump is going to sound, the final trump. And when the final trump sounds, that's when the rapture happens. Also, it is when the wrath of God comes down on the earth. The tribulation that the world has been going through has been in 1/3 measure. If you read Revelations, it says 1/3 of this happens, 1/3 of that happens, like 1/3 of the grass is burned up, 1/3 of the trees is burned up, 1/3 of the water is turned into blood, and so on and so forth. But when the wrath happens, it says those vials, or those bowls, depending on what translation you have, are poured out in full measure, 100%. And this is all then happens on a very short period of time that lasts like no more than, I think it's like, I'm not sure how long it is, 30 or 90 days, or is it 3.5 years. But it's a very short period of time that this great tribute, I mean more not great tribute, but the wrath happens. So I think we're getting very close to that, because the Antichrist spirit is growing very strong in the world. We have all this communication now, we have the internet, and it has given us the ability to preach the gospel into all the world. And the Bible said, when the gospel, another Bible verse says, when the gospel is preached into all the world, then shall the end come. But this is also giving a chance for the Antichrist forces and his people, the devil's people that won't give up the devil, the ways of the devil, or believing in the way of Satan, which is just basically Satan didn't want to recognize the existence of the Most High God, and he wanted to exalt himself as God, and above all that is called God. And that's exactly what this humanism movement is. It's all about the worship of man. And these different people, they all want to get to, these different people, all these people, they all want their chance to be God. And they're willing to give up anything to get it, and they're following the way of Satan. There's no two ways about it. And that's the Antichrist spirit that doesn't recognize the existence of God having come into this physical world. First, God revealed himself to this physical world in the creation itself. And then further, in different prophets in the Old Testament, people like Moses, I don't even know them all. And then finally, fully revealed himself through Jesus Christ. Jesus the Christ, Messiah. And so this is all coming together now. It's all coalition, coming together in fulfillment. And these people that are against God and against Christ, they are knowingly, they know there's a God, they know there has to be a creator. They're just lying and trying to help deceive each other or delude each other into this delusion, this fantasy of theirs that they can all be God, they can all be worshipped and have it all like the movie stars or like the sports heroes or political heroes or whatever. That's what they all attain to. That's all they will live and die for. Their chance to be God, to be as a God. So, all us Christians, all we got to do is stand up for Jesus, preach the gospel, preach Jesus, tell people we have faith in Jesus. Don't give in to it, and that is not as easy as it seems. And most people, I think most Christians, are such fence sitters that they will not, even if they meet someone, have a friend or something, they won't preach the gospel to them, or they don't even want to mention that they believe in Jesus. They're so afraid that they won't be accepted, or they'll cause that person not to like them that they're witnessing to. And we can't be that way. Our faith grows the more we witness, the more we tell others we believe in Jesus, the more God makes our faith grow. And if you're waiting for the last moment when Satan's passing out the mark of the beast, and you say, now I'm going to stand up, and then I will stand up and say, no, I'm not going to do it, I'll die first, I believe in Jesus. Well, you might not have a faith for it if you haven't let your faith grow. And so it's very important to confess Jesus before others. And don't be lukewarm. I hope you're doing that. And I hope you're fellowshipping, or can find fellowship with other true Christians who are not lukewarm, who will stand up, who also believe they may need to stand up for the faith. We are in a war, a spiritual war. It's no time to be hiding in the trenches or in foxholes, discussing and arguing with each other endlessly about how we're going to fight the battle when we will never even willing to get out of the trench or stick our head up enough to take one shot. And I'm speaking about standing up for the truth against the lies. It's being broadly publicized by the media, much of the leftist Antichrist media, liberal media. So I hope you take heed to my message, to this message from the Lord. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to practice torturing yourself or anything. Just when the Lord leads you, gives you opportunity, you stand up for the faith. As many of you already have been doing on YouTube. Thank you.